to identify what circuit to put on the cable.
Okay, for me the cable thickness is more about how much ampage the cable can take, yeah?
Right, okay.
So epoxy little cable for lighting, you know, is like 5 amps.
5 amps.
Yeah, and you know your cooker circuit at home, fat cable, how much?
16 amp.
60,
Or
isn't it?
32.
60, the cooker.
Oh, what? 60.
Wasn't it 60 or 40? I can't remember. Well, big anyway. Really?
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. The cooker one I've got at home, yeah, 60.
Yeah, 60 amp, innit? Big old fuse for that, and big cable too.
Big cable, yeah. 10 mil cable on it.
Nice one. Okay, so moving on to your second point, sockets. What did you notice about them?
Well, I noticed that they're obviously all ripped out of the walls at the moment and sort of like hanging down. But I don't know if they're obviously...
So they maybe look a bit dangerous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they look dangerous. They're all like loose and broken.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if they was live or dead, you know, I don't obviously know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you'll find that most of those are live. That comes back to what we were talking about earlier, is the builder's been in there, yeah? He's got in there before we have.
Yeah.
He needs to do his work, which is basically taking everything back to the, you know, the walls, to the timbers. So that work is hard work and makes a lot of debris, and it also, during the process, you try taking a wall apart without damaging the socket on it. It's very difficult. Yeah. So he'll have damaged those while he was working, and that's the danger. You know, imagine he put a sledgehammer through a live socket. Yeah, got an electric shock off it and died. That would not be good. Yeah, so we have to try and protect them as much as possible from getting electric shocks. Yeah. Nice one. I love it. Some of those sockets in there.
You're going to tell me in a minute how he's done that and what we've done to turn that off.
Yeah, and I'm not really going to go into his job. Yeah, we're here to do the electric, so I'm not going to diverge too much into, you know, what he does in terms of building.
I think it's all about, you know, health and safety. You know, you've got to be careful. It's like, you know, you don't just see a socket and think, well, I'll smash through that. You know what I mean? If you see a socket, as the electrician, I know that could be live anyway. And if I was going to be the builder, he might think that it's going to be dead or alive, but you work around it. You wouldn't just go straight through it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, I mean, it is basic health and safety that they should be careful. But yeah, the problem is a lot of them genuinely don't understand. Yeah, electrics. We are the electricians who are knowledgeable about these things. So of course we think they're thick if they do that, but some of them just don't understand. Yeah. Right. Old cable is the third thing on there. New cable. Okay, so you can see the mixed cables, new and old.
Yeah,
that's good.
The grey and the white.
Yeah. During the years that I was learning electrics, it was quite simple because we didn't have the new cable colours back then. It was always black and red colours.
I didn't notice any black cable up there at all. Mostly it was
there is
white.
some. There is. I'll show you some.
Mostly it was just grey and white.
Yeah. What's inside those cables will be the black and red. And even the fabric cables in those days were black and red.
Would you like sugar in your tea?
Yes, please, one. Thank you.
Then you can have that one.
Okay.
There's the table there.
That's all I put on there, yeah?
That's a good table. Would you like a slice of brown toast or something?
No, I'm white at the moment, honestly. Honest.
Biscuit?
I nearly dropped this.
Good stuff. Yeah, so the cable colours red and black. Yeah, so for me, this is how I learned. Basically, there used to be fabric cables in the beginning, yeah, which we'll show you an example of today. Then they came out with this rubber cable, yeah.
After.
Yeah, after. And if you find rubber cable these days, you're not allowed to use it anymore, because although it was a good insulator, what would happen over time is it would crack.
Yeah. Or it could
Thanks
melt.
very much. Man. Lovely, thank you.
It could melt with the heat, couldn't it? Don't forget. Over time.
Yeah, I mean, cables shouldn't be heating up that much that they...
No.
But you're right, over time, heat up, crack, break down, potentially start losing the insulating properties, yeah? I mean, I guarantee there's still a load of houses in the UK that are using rubberised cable, yeah? It's as soon as you start to move it, that's when the problems happen. Most cables that you got buried in the walls and in the ceilings never move, yeah?
No.
I mean, we're not in a place that suffers from earthquakes or anything like that, so our cables, when you put them in place, that's it. They're there for 100 years, yeah?
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then you had the rubber cables, and then after that came the PVC cables. Now, in the old days, then there didn't used to be any difference between the grey and the white cables, yeah? I'd say grey was the first cable that came out, and the reason grey cables were made was cost, yeah? It was nice and cheap to make grey PVC, yeah?
Yeah.
Then over time, they realised that they could make it white, and I think customers like that more because white cables look quite pretty, don't they? You can run a white cable along a skirting board, and you're not really going to see it because it's there with the white skirting board. So then, that's where we were at about 1990, maybe 1990, or was it already 2000? Can't remember when the cable colour change was. Was that 2003? Was it? Okay. Well, anyway, when that happened, the industry needed a way of knowing the difference between old and new cables, yeah? So they introduced the grey cable, reintroduced the grey cable with the brown and the blue in it. But that is just the problem, because they've brought that back in. If you now see a grey cable, you think, oh, that's new. Actually, it's not. Those grey cables, they're probably 40 years old, yeah? So just be careful about that. Until you actually look inside the cable, you're not going to know.
Oh, okay. Because like, obviously I'd identify it by looking inside, obviously, if it's got the old wire, like the black and the red.
Yeah.
But now it's brown and blue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So if I was to go in there and have a look and it's black and red, I'll know that it's the old cable.
Nice one. Yeah. But it's difficult to know that until you actually crack the cable open. Yeah? Good stuff, man. Let's see what else is on that.
It's weird that they've changed like the brown and blue now. Blue neutral, brown live. Whereas before it was, you know, red live, black neutral.
Yeah.
Wonder how comes they've changed the colour of those as well.
Okay. For a long time, I can't remember when that started, but for a long time, like appliances like vacuum cleaners and stand lamps and
that sort of thing.
portable appliances, TVs, everything, used to have brown and blue cables in them. So growing up, I learnt that black and red is what you normally saw when you opened a wall up, and blue and brown is what you normally saw when you opened up a machine, But the problem is that European people, for a long time also, had been using blue as neutral and brown as light, So now with European harmonisation, us joining Europe in terms of regulations and stuff like that, one of us had to budge. There's fucking 25 European countries versus one UK and Ireland, So what are we going to do? Are they all going to change to our regulations, or are we going to change to theirs? Unfortunately, we lost out, and we have to join the Germans, who lost the war, They lost the war, but they get to make the regulations anyway. That's enough of my racist banter.
I would have, you know, from my point of view, I would identify it like a traffic light. I'd have a red.
Okay.
As in like live.
Yeah.
That's what I would have, red cable wires.
Okay.
Like inside.
Yeah. And what would the amber be? What would amber be?
Well, no, I'd say obviously I'll keep the blue as neutral.
Okay, but you said traffic lights, so that would be green,
not,
right?
not all three colours of the traffic lights, but mainly the red, the main one, I would have like as a live cable.
Okay.
Red.
So you'd have it like red light, light district.
Yeah, and like the earth would be like, you know, the yellow and green.
Yeah.
Because that's, even now earth is like yellow and green.
Okay.
That is good for me. That's good.
Sorry guys, don't order this till you. Can I borrow you like for 5 minutes?
Yes, of course.